Giver. The Giver is by Lois Lowry. Lois is known for writing books about difficult subject matter and children's book. This book is read by all ages. It was made into a movie in 2014. Lois Lowry has received many awards for her books. The story starts out with an 11-year-old boy named Jonas, who lives in a community sometime in the future. He lives in a society with very strict rules, such as no insults, no lies, and no feelings. At the age of 12, you are assigned a job you must pursue for the rest of your life. You get assigned a spouse and children, and if you don't follow these rules, you get released from the community, and getting released is being killed. The ceremony of 12 is coming up for Jonas. It is a big ceremony where all of the children turning 12 get assigned their jobs. At the ceremony, Jonas is left until the very last to be announced. It is announced that he is the new receiver of memory, which is a huge deal. He immediately starts training with the old receiver of memory, who is now known as the Giver. The Giver is to transfer the memories over to Jonas, not his memories, but the memories of the entire world, the good ones and the bad ones. One of the rules of this job was to keep all of the memories to himself. He broke this rule when Gabriel, a child in the newborn center that his father was looking after, seemed special to Jonas, and when Gabriel couldn't sleep at night, Jonas gave him some memories to help him sleep. The protagonist of the story is Jonas. His character is round and dynamic. He is pretty impressive for a 12-year-old guy. He faces conflicts with himself, his society, and natural elements. He's contemplative, careful, pensive, mature, compassionate, and composed. He can take care of an infant. He's selfless. He seems to have no problems about volunteering to bathe super old people. He treats the Giver with respect and bears pain without complaining. The Giver is a little bit of a mystery. His character is round. He appears older than he really is because of the weight of the memories that he keeps. He seems completely isolated, but we find out he had an intense emotional connection to a girl he calls his daughter, Rosemary. To Jonas, he is a strange mix of a mentor, grandfather, friend, and accomplice. Jonas's father is a nurturer. He takes care of babies, and by takes care of, I mean occasionally kills them. This character does not evolve throughout the story. What's so hard to understand about this character is how he can be so caring and nurturing, and at the same time be so casual about unnecessary death. The setting of the Giver is in an isolated community sometime in the future. We can't be sure when the story goes down. Since the memories of a distant past correspond to our world today, we conclude that it is in fact sometime in the future. As stated, this is not a community like ours. It is a place with very strict order and organization. We learn that at some time in the past, the leaders decided it would be better for people to not have feelings or memories. It is a very artificial environment where no one has free will to make choices. Everything is chosen for its people, from their career to their mate and children. People don't even have children themselves. One of the jobs that is assigned is birth mother. These individuals have the children for all, and then each family is assigned babies. No one thinks for themselves. This following passage is from the Giver. In this part of the book, it is in the ceremony of 12, where all of the 11s turn 12 and they get assigned their job they must pursue for the rest of their life. And Jonas has just been skipped in the ceremony of 12. The audience was clearly ill at ease. They applauded at the final assignment, but the applause was piecemeal, no longer a crescendo of united enthusiasm. There are murmurs of confusion. Jonas moved his hands together, clapping, but it was an automatic, meaningless gesture that he wasn't even aware of. His mind had shut out all the earlier emotions, the anticipation, excitement, pride, and even the happy kinship with his friends. Now he felt only humiliation and terror. The chief elder waited until the uneasy applause subsided, then she spoke again. "I know," she said in a vibrant, gracious voice, "that you are all concerned, that you feel I've made a mistake." She smiled. The community, relieved from its discomfort very slightly by her benign statement, seemed to breathe more easily. It was very silent. Jonas looked up. "I've caused you anxiety," she said. "I apologize to my community." Her voice flowed over the assembled crowd. "We accept your apology," they all uttered together. "Jonas," she said, looking down at him, "I apologize to you in particular. I caused you anguish." "I accept your apology," Jonas replied shakily. "Please come to the stage now." Earlier that day, dressing in his own dwelling, he had practiced the kind of jaunty, self-assured walk that he had hoped could make to the stage when his turn came. All of that was forgotten now. He simply willed himself to stand, to move his feet that felt weighted and clumsy, to go forward, up the steps and across the platform, until he stood at her side. Reassuringly, she placed her arm across his tense shoulders. "Jonas has not been aside," she informed the crowd, and his heart sank. She went on. "Jonas has been selected." He blinked. What did that mean? He felt a collective questioning stir from the audience. They, too, were puzzled. In a firm, commanding voice, she announced, "Jonas has been selected to be our next receiver of memory." A connection I made while reading this book was with Jonas. Jonas, as a young man, is faced with the question of what he will do for the rest of his life. Most of us start to think about this when we are in school. I've started to wonder what my future will hold. The difference is that in our society, we have the free will to decide for ourselves. It took great courage for Jonas to realize that he must risk everything for the privilege of free will. I recommend The Giver because it is a thought-provoking story. It is full of suspense and has characters that are relatable for young adults. This book made me really think about our world and how lucky we are to have the freedoms that we have.